Coming up, I've got 7 bets for you on today's 2 NFL games. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode, the Monday edition here of Winning Bets. I hope you guys really enjoyed your weekend. As we move on now into December, I want to go ahead and before we give you guys those 7 bets on today's Monday Night Football games. Want to go ahead and, of course, recap the weekend. If you guys recall on Friday's episode, I gave you 4 NFL bets. I also told you I would tweet out my favorite NFL prop bet of the Sunday NFL action. Well, I did that, but the bet got voided on DraftKings because Edwards-Helaire, while he was active on the roster yesterday, he never came into the game and didn't play. So DraftKings did us a real cool favor there in voiding those bets and giving us back our money. So we just had the 4 bets to recap. We went 3-1 in those bets, and we had plus 1.4 profit. Really nice day for us there in the NFL. We got that Saints money line. Boy, that was a sweat coming down to the end. Looked like Atlanta might steal that game, but that number 1 defense rose up to the occasion there, and Saints played real good, or the defense at least played good down the stretch. The offense kind of went into cruise control, neutral there, and just coasted there at the end of the game. No reason for that. Taysom Hill with that really bad turnover there, but either way, we still got that Saints money line to come through. We also parlayed Saints plus 4.5. We parlayed that with Dolphins minus 3.5. That was a real nice cash for us. Obviously, the Saints, take care of business there. The Dolphins, do the same as well up against that Bengals squad, a squad that we knew they would handle. I tell you what, though, I was even put out a tweet there on Twitter. I was hoping for Fitzmagic to come into that game. Tua was just not impressing me too often there in that first half. He got it together more in that second half, but the first half, man, I was definitely ready for Fitzpatrick to come on into that game, but we ended up beating that. We got the cash there. And then our other cash of the day yesterday was Packers minus 2.5, Patriots plus 6.5. Both of those were extremely easy cashes. I know Jalen Hurts came into that game, made it interesting there for a little bit, but the 2.5, was relatively not in doubt there. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was going to be able to put together multiple drives against that Packers defense, and sure enough, he didn't. Then Aaron Jones rips off that big touchdown and puts that bet to bed for us. And then the Patriots, they just kicked ass. I mean, they just absolutely destroyed the Chargers, winning that game 45-0. What an absolute beatdown. Finally, backing Bill Belichick on the right time paid off for us there, so we got that cash. Our one trip up of the day was the Lions came through on plus 10.5, but the Seahawks couldn't cover minus 3.5. That tripped up about everybody there, that Seahawks game, whether you had the money line, some sort of spread. The Seahawks just didn't come through. That offense looked really bad. We talked about, though, on Friday's show that the Giants, defense is good, but man, they just shouldn't have been able to shut down, Russell Wilson in that passing attack like they did, but credit them, they did. And then Colt McCoy did just enough, which I didn't think he was going to be able to do just enough. It was more on the running game, but Colt McCoy, when he did need to put in some passes there, at least late in that game, he rose to the occasion. So, give him credit there. But still, like I said, 3-1 on the NFL day and plus 1.4 units. We got another update we got to do for you, and it's the Premier League Pick'em. And this is going to sound just like 2 weeks ago, but you guys know on the NBC Sports Predictor app where we compete for $50,000, where they give you 5 Premier League games. You've got to correctly predict all 5 games. We talk about how we take the 5 results that I predict, we drop them in a parlay just for $5 to see how we can do. And we see what happened. Well, 2 weeks ago, you guys remember we were sitting here on Monday, had 4 games were completed, had 4 correct answers, and all we needed was Southampton to beat the Wolves. We now know that didn't happen, and I lost my 5-legged parlay. Well, here we are again. First 4 legs are complete. We got that Manchester United win over West Ham. We got the Chelsea win over Leeds. We got the Tottenham win over Arsenal. We got the Liverpool win over Wolves. And here we sit again. I need Southampton to come through again. Southampton is playing Brighton today, or this afternoon here for you. And if Southampton wins, my $5 bet will pay out $130. So it'll net us $125. Can Southampton do it this time? Well, the last 3 head-to-heads at Brighton have all been Southampton wins. This game is at Brighton. Obviously, with the payout being $125 in soccer, there being 2 other scenarios. You've got the Brighton win and a draw. Can't hedge really at all with this because the payout isn't quite enough, because this, we talked about on the NBC Sports Predictor app, how I thought this week was a lot easier. They gave us a lot of big, heavy favorites. Well, that shows right there on the odds that I'm only getting, plus 2,500 odds when I put 5 games together. So can't really do the hedge on this one. In terms of cashing out, if I was to cash out right now, they're willing to give me me $39. I'm a gambler. $39 ain't shit. So I'm going to let it roll. Let's see if we can't get that Southampton win. Cheer for me, guys. Like you guys did for me last time. We almost had that bet last time. Theo Walcott almost came through. Go ahead, guys. Cheer for me again. Let me guys know if you guys did. I don't know if, I shared this with you guys 2 weeks ago. I don't know if that encouraged anybody to go ahead and, sprinkle $5 on the 5 games like I did. But if you did, go ahead and let me know. I'm curious if I'm riding alone on this or if you guys are starting to jump along with me here as we're getting close the last few times. We'll see, though. See if Southampton can't come through for me. All right, one more update here before I give you those 7 NFL bets is the NFL Eliminator. There it is. We've lost it. Yeah, they both took the Seahawks. S. Lowry and the crew both took the Seahawks. Like I saw on social media, like these two guys did, almost everybody was on that Seahawks game. That tripped up everybody. Sure, there were giant backers out there, but the majority of the people were on the Seahawks. Not only did these guys both lose on the same week, though, they're also tied in points. So we've got no winner. No winner. I'm conflicted on what to do. I'm conflicted on the game is you play to get a winner. We didn't have a winner. So do I just keep the $50 or do I give each of these guys $25? I'm conflicted because there wasn't a winner. That's what I'm conflicted about is we play to win. We said all along we needed a winner. We didn't get a winner. I wish these guys were different on point. If one of these guys, the tiebreaker was different, it's easy. You dole out the $50 to the winner, but we don't have a winner here. We got no winners. I don't know what to do. It was a great competition. We obviously still got the Premier League, not the Premier League, the NFL Pick'em contest going on. We're giving away $100. We'll update those standings tomorrow after tonight's 2 NFL Monday Night Football games. But the NFL in there, we got no winner. Unreal that those guys are level on points and they lost on the same week to the Seahawks. Let me think about it. I may still give each of those guys $25. Both of these guys have actually won previous contests. Through our random drawings that we do here on the show where we just give out money from time to time. Both of these guys have been winners in the past, so I've got their contact information on Twitter. Maybe I'll reach out to them and drop each of them $25. I'll go ahead and let you guys know. But just really unfortunate and weird that they bow out at the same time, same points and all that have you. So all right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on now. We've got 2 football games going on. The first one is the Washington and Steelers, and the second one there is the Bills and the 49ers. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Bills first. You guys know I'm a Bills fan, so let's just go ahead and jump right on into that Bills versus 49ers game. I've got 7 bets for you here. Let's go ahead and jump into the first one. For the first one, I'm going to look at that 49ers rushing attack against that Bills defense. The Bills' run defense is 24th in the league. What also is really bad is the Bills are allowing 4.7 yards per run, which is 29th in the league. What I'm focusing on here is Raheem Mostert. He's averaging 5.2 yards per run. So you got a Bills defense that is bad overall, really bad on each average per run. And then you got Mostert here is averaging 5.2 yards per run. That's really bad. When Mostert is healthy, when he's healthy and he's the guy and he's in the game, He gets the majority of the production. His last 2 games that he played, he got 16 and 17 carries, which led the team. So, and he is healthy coming into this game. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 prop bets around Mostert here. I'm going to take Mostert rushing attempts over 12.5, and that comes in at minus 106 over at DraftKings. And then I'm also going to take his yardage. His rushing total is 53.5, and that's at minus 112 over at DraftKings. So we'll do those 2 bets here involving Mostert here. I think he's going to have a big game. There's no reason not to attack this Bills defense. The Bills defense is pretty good in that secondary with Trey White, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. But it's the rush defense that continuously over the course of the Sean McDermott era has issues from time to time. They have issues on that run defense, and we know the 49ers are a run-heavy team, and they also don't have an all-star quarterback, an all-pro quarterback that's trotting out there, so they lean on that run game a little bit more these days, given that Nick Mullins is up under center. So I just love these 2 prop bets because you got a strength there for the 49ers against a weakness of the Buffalo Bills defense, and let's see if we can't get Mostert to come through and get cash 2 bets for us. Next one I want to look at here is involving Gabriel Davis, the Bills wide receiver. We made this exact same bet last week, and we got it to cash. Don't need to do a whole lot of justification because we know the reason we made the bet last week was because the Bills put John Brown on the IR, and at some point, you're going to have to try and stop Diggs, and the ball's got to go somewhere else because Gabriel Davis is on the field every time there's 2 wide receivers now because of the replacement now that he's done for John Brown. And in fact, he was on the field last week for 97% of the snaps in his first game taking over for John Brown. So we absolutely love this. We got this bet last week. We got this bet to cash last week, more importantly. So we're going to go right back to the well again. It's Gabriel Davis over 39.5 receiving yards. and that comes in at minus 115 over at PointsBet. We got one more bet involving this game. This time, let's look at the Bills rushing attack versus that 49ers defense. And I really want to focus in on here on Zach Moss, the Buffalo Bills running back. Look, 3 straight weeks, Zach Moss has now out-snapped Devin Singletary. 3 weeks ago, it was 38 to 31 snaps. 2 weeks ago, it was 39 to 34. And then last week, it was 37 to 25 snaps. So last week was a really big disparity. He got 12 more snaps than Devin Singletary. It's because he's becoming a better back in terms of he can get on the field now on third down. He can pass block. Oh, here comes my son's busting in. Hey. Oh, that's great. He's busting in. And then, that's awesome. Where were we? We were talking about Zach Moss here on that awesome rushing attack that he's going to do for us tonight. Yeah, so he's out-snapping Devin Singletary. He's just getting on the field more than Devin Singletary these days. And if you look at that 49ers defense, it's a really strong unit. They're number 4 in pass defense. They're number 10 on rush defense. So they don't have a whole lot of weaknesses on this defense, but they are weaker on the rushing side. So I like that. I like that Zach Moss is obviously, becoming the guy now, and his yardage is relatively low. It's only at 32.5, which cashed last week for him. So I'm going to take Zach Moss over 32.5 rushing yards, and that comes at minus 110 over at FanDuel. All right, let's jump it over now to the Washington game versus Steelers. This is a bet that we've made 2 weeks ago on the show. I made it last week alone, personally. Got it to cash. We've got it to cash 2 weeks ago for us, so we're going right back to that well. Washington, Steelers. Steelers, number 3 defense. Washington, number 4 defense. Again, we got this bet to cash against the Bengals 2 weeks ago. Last week it cashed against the Cowboys when I played it alone. So we're going right back to it. What's the result of the first drive? I'm going punt, and it's minus 140 over at FanDuel. Next one we want to look at here is Antonio Gibson. It's the Washington. I keep saying Washington Redskins, or at least I want to. That's what's tripping me up here. The Washington football team running back here. He's the guy. Antonio Gibson is the guy. He is absolutely a beast. Got 20 carries on Thanksgiving, so I like that. He's also got extra rest coming off the Thanksgiving game, so it lets that body heal a little bit. He's averaging on the season 4.6 yards per carry, but his last 2 games, he's averaging 5.8 and 5.9 in his last 2 games. So just a guy who's really coming into it here, starting to see the field, see the holes, and really hit it explosive. This guy, you guys watched that game on Thanksgiving. This guy's got some explosiveness in him. The last couple of games, his carries are nearly doubled more than the next guy. So, again, he is the running back on this team. I like Antonio Gibson tonight. That's his rushing total over 45.5 yards, and that comes in at minus 118 over on DraftKings. And then the last bet for you here, I want to look at Logan Thomas. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and show you this graphic here. If we look at his, and we want to look at his, what I'm going to look at here is his reception. So look at this graphic here. And his receptions tonight is at over 2.5. Look at all the 4s, the 3s that he's got on there in that receiving column. But what I like about it is, even when he doesn't, you can see that there's a 2 and a couple 1s there. But look at the targets. So when he's not getting at least 3 receptions, the ball is still coming his way. We just need, more accuracy on the passes, which earlier in the season he was catching passes from Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen, which are 2 shitty quarterbacks. Now we got Alex Smith, a guy who can put the ball where it is a lot more times, than not. So I love that he's almost hit, this bet almost every time, all but 3 times this season. And then again, the times that he hasn't, he's getting the ball though. He's just not quite getting the catches for, whatever various reasons, drops, inaccurate passes, what have you. So, but I'm going back to the well though. A guy that gets the ball, a guy that, catches the ball really well. So I like Logan Thomas over 2.5 receptions. And that comes in at minus 146 over FanDuel. So those are the 7 bets, guys. We'll roll with those tonight. And then I've also got that nice Southampton sweat there for a nice, cool $125 payday. So that should be a lot of fun there. So, but I'm more interested. Go Bills, baby. Bills, we need this game. We need it. We got to keep the Dolphins off us. We got to keep that pressure. We got to win this AFC East. Either way, guys, 2 NFL games, those 7 bets. Go ahead and like this video. Share it with your friends. Let them go ahead and get on these bets too. So give them this video. Let them on in it. And let's go ahead and have us a successful day and kick off our week with some profit. All right, guys, I'm Jason Mattis, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.